And welcome to the UGO podcast. Oh my goodness, Travis. We slacked off last week.
What? I don't believe us.
Yeah, we apologize for the late postings as of late and stuff like that. We are in Stand Against Evil mode for Pod Against Evil, and that's where most of the focus has been going. So first, apologies for that. Also, I would like to announce that the UGO podcast and Netflix and Kill will probably be going on a small hiatus for the month of, well, it's probably the last week of October and some of November as well. We will have content, but it will probably go up every 2 weeks rather than every week. And it's just an unavoidable side effect of running 3 podcasts at a time. We're refocusing on the one that's really big right now.
That needs an actual push to get more out of it.
It's for right now. Pod Against Evil is very important during the month of October and November for us. So that is where a lot of the effort is going to be. A lot of our focus is going to be for this month, but that does not mean that we will be going away. In fact, Netflix and Kill is on hiatus right now as it is moving to its own site and its own iTunes feed as I figure that out. So for those of you who are wondering, hey, where are the episodes? Why are they not, why aren't they not at the right times or dates or whatever? It's basically been whenever I could get a chance to kick around and edit. And so we will be doing one for next week for Anime Fusion because I've already made commitments for that. But as to after that, it will be, like I said, probably every 2 weeks, just to lighten the load on me since I don't have any editor or anything. Everything is done, through me as far as scheduling and editing and all that good stuff. So we apologize if that if it upsets the schedule.
Just a little fall cleaning, that's all.
Yeah, fall cleanings. That's exactly right. Plus, it gives us a chance to catch back to because I shared my experiences from Comic-Con. We didn't talk about any of the trailers from Comic-Con that I actually did not catch while I was there, which was interesting. So. With that, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to help out the podcast, if you like what you hear, do all the good stuff like on our social media and, subscribe to us on iTunes, give us a 5-star review on iTunes, help us with the algorithm. If you'd like to, communicate with us, leave us a comment or whatever, you can do so at our Instagram, and Twitter is at UGO Podcast. If you'd like to email us specifically about something, you can
like how you don't like us messing up your schedule.
Go to unapologetic@gmail.com and yell at us about that stuff there. Also Facebook. I want to mention the Facebook. Other than that, how are we doing this week, Travis?
I'm doing all right. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
So that looks fun.
It is fun. I don't think it's a lot like the other Assassin's Creed games, but I've only played 1 and most of 2, so I can't actually say. But this is the only one I've thought, hey, that looks interesting, let's go buy that. Because it didn't look anything like the other Assassin's Creed games. Yeah,
with my lack of time, I have not been able to try that yet. I did sneak some time away this weekend to try and grab some of the Halloween costumes from Overwatch.
Yes.
And then I played a little bit of God of War in the arena.
Yeah, and you have to beat that game so I can hear you complain about the ending.
And then I remembered I don't remember how to play this game. And I was like, God damn it! I knew this would happen.
Yeah, arenas aren't a great place to try remembering how to play a game.
There's a warm-up option that's actually pretty helpful. Huh. But yeah, that was cool. We have been watching some old cartoons as of late. We were just watching Angry Beavers.
That show's fucking weird.
Since Verve has all of Nickelodeon shows now. Verve, I love how Verve, like even in the episode, there's at least 3 times where it skips back.
Yeah.
In like a couple seconds. God, fucking hate Verve. Like even when I'm watching on Hulu, it doesn't skip back. It's still a trash service, but, anyway, I'll bitch about Verve another time. Angry Beavers is super weird. It's not like as weird as Rocko's Modern Life or Ren and Stimpy.
I remember that one being weird.
Right. This one is just kind of like, it's kind of more like, oh, I guess this isn't as good as I remember it. Well, and then it was for kids, but it was like during that time in the 90s where there was like great cartoons on. Like I remember even Cat Dog. I was like, you know what? Cat Dog was at least interesting when we rewatched it.
Yeah.
Doug is I don't understand what the appeal was for Doug.
I don't know. I don't remember really liking Doug as a kid. I've not gone back to rewatch it at all.
It's like calming for whatever reason, and I still find it today calming.
Huh.
I don't know why. Just this weird, like, it's social, like,
Well, I was seeing more like
kid.
just a sitcom that just happened to be animated.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically like he did the daydreams like JD from Scrubs, and it was just animated really poorly. I liked, I was interested in that. I want to go back and watch another couple episodes of Legends of the Hidden Temple because I love that show so much. Anyway, should we get to the news for the week?
Yeah.
The news for the week, as far as just the Comic-Con news that we kind of just missed out on last week, a bunch of new trailers and stuff that we will about to get to, news and stuff like that. There is this thing that I forgot was even a thing, was the Batman prequel TV show Pennyworth.
Oh yes, the Alfred one.
Cast its Alfred. Let's see, who is the Alfred here? But I forgot that this thing was even happening.
I mean, we could make fun of it, but we already see what would happen. We made fun of Gotham, and then end up being one of our favorite shows. So there's that.
Okay, Bannon. Let's see.
Steve Bannon's Alfred.
No,
that's a bit awkward.
Yeah. Oh boy. Bannon's inspiration will start out struggling, and Jack Bannon is a younger version of the man who is butler for Bruce Wayne after becoming an SAS soldier. So that joke from Teen Titans Go, the movie, like where the trailer of Alfred is actually becoming a thing.
Yep.
So on one level, I would say it's another show, like another thing without the superhero that it is famous for. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of not down with it. But then again, Gotham turned out to be one of my favorite superhero shows ever. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Speaking of villains without the heroes present, Venom made a good chunk of money in the box office, at least its opening weekend. It got torn up by critics, but it did make enough money to where they will be making a Kraven the Hunter movie. And the big news about that was that it might have Spider-Man in it. Oh my god. I am so sick of this being a thing in which that the big draw for these movies is that, oh man, if we cross our fingers and pray real hard, maybe Spider-Man might show up in this Spider-Man related movie.
I kind of feel at this point it's just them going like, look, we made a decent enough movie. Will you let us share Spider-Man now? And like, Marvel's just like,
yeah, no. See, the weird thing about this is that I would actually be excited for a Kraven movie if it was Marvel doing it. Yeah. But since Sony is doing it, and I don't trust Sony with anything, it's like, nah. We have yet to see Venom. I am morbidly curious. I don't know if we'll have time to run and do it, but
we definitely should try though.
We should definitely try.
I am just morbidly curious at this point.
I recently had another accident with a new car, so maybe one of these days we'll go in catch a morning screening and catch it so that we can report back on it. But yeah, that
the most I've seen out of it so far is people that are saying how it's so kind of like trashy, it's kind of funny. And also a lot of people just mentioning porn with Tom Hardy and Venom. So there's that.
So yeah, the Walking Dead did not do as good as Venom. Apparently its season 9 premiere was the lowest rated that the show has ever had in regards to premieres,
Since what, last year?
Yeah. And that does not bode well for the series.
I can't believe the series is still on, to be honest.
Yeah. So it looks like they are running into trouble. Also, Iron Fist has been canceled.
Ooh, so sad. Oh no.
And I did not even try and watch season 2. I had the opportunity to watch it early, and I did not, because I do not care.
Because we could watch literally anything else. Like, let's go back to watching Angry Beavers.
Mm-hmm. And, oh boy. Like, that is interesting to me in that the fact that they are just willing to ditch a big chunk of their universe, even though it probably is a good idea to ditch it because it is really the thing that drags down the rest of the series and doesn't really work. So, on one hand, I'm glad that they ditched it. On the other hand, it makes that
it's not a good sign.
No, And I guess they're hoping that Daredevil season 3 will turn things around for them, but we'll have to see about that. And apparently, Chris Evans had a tweet lately that said he said he just shot his final scene as Captain America,
Yep.
which led people to think that Captain America was going to die. Which, I mean, not unnecessarily. That's not could not be the case. Maybe he just retires or gets hurt. There could be many things.
Rides off into the sunset.
But I think Chris Evans is just like, okay, this is definitely my way to go out. And honestly, if I was him and I picked a moment to step out at the end of the biggest event
Crossover ever.
Yeah. And, I think that is a good exit point for him. I'm actually cool with it. And I probably will cry in the theater if at the end of it, the final sacrifice that the Avengers have to make in order to set the world right is to sacrifice Captain America.
Yep.
And he just goes out. Like, can you imagine in the audience? We all were excited when he just showed up in Infinity War.
Like, he just showed his silhouette and everyone was screaming.
Yeah. And it's like, we all knew he was in the movie. It's not like we were so like, oh shit, he is in this.
Yeah.
No, we all knew that. We saw that exact same scene in the trailer. And yet we were all excited because Captain America is badass.
Well, watching that like the first movie in the theaters was almost like a film festival level of like excitement.
Right. And so that is great. We missed the trailer for X-Men 2 weeks ago. We talked about it a little bit for the Breakfast Pub with Justin when we were on it. My thoughts are that the X-Men universe is I don't care about anything now since it's going over to Marvel.
Yeah.
Like it feels like everything now does not count.
The
like,
New Mutants was the one I was like more interested in, but like Dark Phoenix, like I said on the Breakfast Pub, it's X3 too.
Yeah, remember when we were supposed to get that movie 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much all I had. No. Of course, we have to talk about James Gunn. Got a new job.
Yeah.
He is
crossing streams.
Yeah. So he is going to be doing the new, the Suicide Squad.
Right.
Which is good. That's a good project for him. The weird, some of the weirder characters and, the outside stuff. A good decision on Warner Brothers' part to snap him up real quick since he's synonymous with men on a mission superhero movies. So that will probably go down as one of the only blemish marks in Disney's Marvel universe.
Yes, letting DC snatch something up from them.
Yeah, letting them snatch up James Gunn, who was responsible for one of their like really crazy projects actually working, and is so far is now like up for grabs as to what the Guardians of the Galaxy will even be. The script will even be used. I think Dave Bautista is like, hey, sign me up for Suicide Squad. I'll play whatever. I'll play KG Beast. I don't give a fuck. That's right. He's already dead in this universe. Whatever. Fuck Batman versus Superman. The only blemish mark I have on that one is that like any James Gunn movie made with Warner Brothers is going to have them breathing down his ass. And it probably will.
Well, I mean, like, Marvel already was pretty controlling, right?
No, that's the thing is that Marvel, ever since Kevin Feige made that deal, and
Disney
kind of backed off on that sort of thing. But
I assuming they still had some kind of, like...
Well, Marvel is controlling when it comes to plot stuff and storylines because, no, this person can't do this or this person can't die because we need them for this thing later. And they can never explain the plan to anyone because they're all secret about and not spoilers. So basically it's always running up against a wall and people asking, can I do this? No, you can't because we need this.
But because reasons.
Because reasons, yeah. Because they can't give the people a list of here's the things you can't do because we need them later. It's always frustrating. I'm assuming, anyway,
I would assume,
is that it's a frustrating experience for when a director has a great idea for a scene and then like, oh man, that's great, but you can't do that because we actually need that side character for another thing or it conflicts with another thing that we're about to set up over here and do this.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that DC might have learned some kind of lesson by now. And if they're actually going to, snatch him up like that, maybe they'll actually let him do something.
Also, I also feel like, making Valkyrie cutting the bisexuality scene with Valkyrie was also kind of like, that felt like Disney execs.
Yeah.
But I don't know how good Warner Brothers will be about that either, because I know that they are terrible.
They're just terrible in general.
So, I don't know what to expect there, because it would behoove them to let just James Gunn do what he's doing. But then again, for the first Suicide Squad movie, they took that movie away and cut the shit out of it to try and make a completely different tone movie out of it to make it much more fun. Because they're always trying to course correct.
Which is weird because they like the serious stuff, but not then. It was like, whatever.
Well, they thought that's where the thing was to go, which I thought they would try and course correct, but then we'll see in a trailer this week for Teen Titans that they're still going with the dark and edgy thing, and we'll see how that works out for them.
Plus, we do have Aquaman coming up fairly soon.
Indeed, yeah. There's a lot of stuff up for DC that may or may not work for them. But with that, should we just...
One other thing, though. Did you hear about the newest Tomb Raider game?
No.
They had I don't know if it was a day one patch or something like that. It was a patch that was like, oh yeah, we fixed minor things. And they kind of forgot to mention that, oops, we actually sent out the physical copy of the game with the wrong ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And some people, at least one or two people was like, hey, so I beat the game because they've been doing a stupid thing lately where you can get the game early if you pre-order a more expensive version of it.
Sure.
Which I don't like, is stupid, but whatever. Apparently some people that did that were like, hey, I got a different ending, and they were basically blamed for being trolls. And it was like, no, they got a different ending because literally they patched the game and didn't bother mentioning to anyone that, oh, by the way, different ending.
Interesting. I wonder which one's better.
Apparently they're both very thematically similar.
Okay.
They're just one's more expository or something. I don't know. I didn't actually see the endings myself.
I doubt they overhauled it too much or anything, but then again...
I think one of them might be sequel begging, or rather prequel begging more than the other.
Sure. It's a shame because I hear that the sales have never been through the roof on the Tomb Raider reboots, and I thought that they are really good. They are by far my favorite Tomb Raider games. So I'm looking forward to this one as well, playing it. But again, I'm maybe a year from now I'll get it on sale and finally play it, because I don't think I've actually gotten the other Tomb Raider games day of, now that I think about it. So maybe I'm not as big into them as I thought.
Right. Plus, how many games are coming up this New Year's?
Right. All right. So, any other news before we jump right into the trailers of the week?
Pretty much all I saw.
Okay. Then let us get to it. Okay. Tom, load up the trailers.
Yo, Tom from Toonami here. You're listening to the UGO podcast, and I hope y'all are ready, because Trailer Talk starts now.
All right, so...
Man, it's been a while since we did this, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually sad we're not recording it on video, but I know I won't have time to do any video reactions. So... Yeah, look up our latest Steven Universe reaction, 3 months after the last episode was aired.
That's not your editing's fault, though.
Yeah, that was me just waiting for it to actually be released somewhere I could grab it.
Yeah, because you paid for it.
Yeah,
and then they didn't give it to you.
But yeah, we can get into that later.
Different time.
Hey, should we watch the new trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes, we should.
Let's see here. What we got?
My name is Peter Parker. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. I saved the city, fell in love, then I saved the city again, and again, and again.
And again.
Look, I'm a comic book, a cereal, I did a Christmas album, and a so-so popsicle. But this isn't about me. Not anymore.
Spider-Man swings in once a day, zip-zap-zop in his little mask, and answers to no one. I love you, Miles.
Yeah, I know, Dad.
You gotta say I love you back.
Dad, are you serious?
Still a dick move.
Look at this.
See it.
I love you.
Dad, I love you.
That's a copy.
Fuck you, Dad.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm the one and only Spider-Man. At least that's what I thought.
I'm pretty sure you're not the one and only Spider-Man even in your universe, because...
Dimension opening now.
You're like me.
That's impossible.
All right, kids, listen up. This fry is your universe. It's soggy, it's weird, it's gross. And this delicious normal fry is my universe. So you want to learn to be Spider-Man?
Can you teach me?
Yes, I can. Time to swing.
Okay, did that taking out the coat thing remind you of like that scene from Anastasia at all?
Okay.
Whip.
And release.
You're a natural. Whip.
Whip and release.
Hey guys,
Who are you?
I'm Gwen Stacy. I'm from another dimension.
I love the music.
How many people are there?
Hey, fellas.
Okay.
What was that?
Literally not get any weirder.
It can
Spider-Man.
get weirder.
Spider-Ham.
Okay. We need to get back to our universes soon.
Brooklyn is gonna collapse. My family lives in Brooklyn.
Miles, what's wrong?
This was never your city. It's mine.
Whoa.
If I don't destroy the collider, none of us will have a home to go home to.
Remember, what makes you different
Let's go.
is what makes you Spider-Man.
Officer, I love you.
Wait, what?
What?
That way, that way. Other way.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
Very cool. All
That
right.
was so much fun.
So that is the trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's the third trailer.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Wow, I like that a lot. I'm a little disappointed that it isn't just straight Miles Morales' movie. They obviously have made it a big ensemble.
Right.
But he's still the main character, so that's cool. I'm also confused as to what the exact continuity is, because it seems like anytime we do a Miles Morales, it's always fucking different. Like in the Spider-Man game that was just released, there is a Spider-Man, and then he gets bit by a spider as well, and then gets trained up by Spider-Man in that universe. In this one, he's the only Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
And in the Ultimate Comics, the Ultimate version of Spider-Man died, and then he became Spider-Man. So it is up for grabs as to what exactly the actual continuity seems to be. I love, Gwen Stacy coming into it. I see Noir Spider-Man in there. That's cool.
Some anime thing.
I don't know what that is. I think that might be a play on, the Japanese Spider-Man, where they had him flying a robot that was Leopardon. I forget how you pronounce it, but it was definitely a dude in that one, and he wore a spider count, but not a small anime girl.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. I like Spider-Ham, which is always a fun character. Which I didn't realize until recently is that one would think he's a pig that got bit by a radioactive spider, correct?
Right.
No, it's actually the other way around. It's a spider that got bit by a radioactive pig. Explain to me how that works.
But he's still in the shape of a pig.
Look,
right?
okay, look, your guess is as good as mine, man. Like, this is, I like the look of the creatures that, like, apparently in this universe, it's not very mech suit. It's like mutants of like Scorpion and Goblin. And just the extreme angles of that everyone looks like. The design is very interesting and weird, and I like it. The music is awesome.
Oh yeah,
like,
it is.
I love this music that they keep, like, he yells Brooklyn, and suddenly the beat drops, and he's falling down. I'm like, yeah! I love where he's like, thwip and release, and then it even shows the sound effect, like the classic, that's what it's supposed to sound like, thwip.
No, I really love the, kind of elder statesman Spider-Man being Peter Parker.
That's cool. And he looks like he's Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man. Like, they keep showing scenes from, like, the Upside Down Kiss, the train sequence, and I'm like, okay, so he's kind of like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but, like, older. That's interesting. I like that. So you can kind of fudge and, like, pretend that he's like Tobey Maguire from that universe. Also love that Phil Lord and Chris Miller are on this. They're obviously batting 1,000 right now with like 21 Jump Street, Lego Movie, and stuff like that. So I'm nothing but excited. Do you have any other last minute thoughts before we move on to our next one?
This one's also coming in Christmas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exciting.
It doesn't have to even compete with its own Disney Star Wars movie this year.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Because they're actually pretty good at planning for the most part.
So should we move on to our next trailer?
Yeah.
We have Aladdin.
Ooh, boy.
We have the new teaser trailer for the new live action remake of Aladdin. Let's see what Disney has in store for us.
I haven't heard much about this trailer. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad
It's Guy Ritchie, so
Yeah, that doesn't actually help me at all. Like,
there's sand.
it's everywhere.
It does sound like Star Wars movie music a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty.
Come on down, stop on by. Hop a carpet and fly. You know, that opening for the Aladdin show was actually pretty rad.
Only you.
Oh, here it is. You can hear it in the background. Ooh, the Cave of Wonders. I think they just ripped the same audio.
That
sounds pretty similar. God, I love Aladdin so much. Like, it is straight up my favorite Disney movie.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I know. Whoa, 5/24/19. Oh, I suppose it is just the first your first teaser.
It's like a teaser trailer, so yeah.
So nothing really to see too much other than the Cave of Wonders itself, and a look at what's his face, I forget his name, as Aladdin. I like the look of it.
He has a face.
Mm-hmm. He's got. I like his hat. Like, it covers much more. Like, it's not the silly little small hat. He's got the vest. He's got the red vest on. Like, and of course, but it looks like he has an actual shirt underneath it. Oh, come on, Disney, show me nipples. Actually, I don't think Aladdin had nipples.
I'm guessing not.
So yeah, I guess I'm still like stuck with just my initial feeling of, do we need an Aladdin live action remake? Which I would say probably no. There's a lot of, and plus there's a lot of leeway we give to Aladdin for being in animated cartoons set in the 90s.
Yeah.
Where there's like probably many misrepresentations of Saudi Arabian
culture.
But it was like, it's kind of like a period piece, so there's like some...
So there's those whole like theories about it actually being post-apocalyptic.
Yes. Well, like, there's a buried stop sign in one of the video games. And then, of course, Genie's pop culture references.
Yep.
Which I'm like, even me, I love grand theories and everything, but I'm like, maybe we should stop looking so hard into this. Yeah, so...
my only problem with like the live action Disney movies is that they're usually like, oh, this is a direct retelling of this movie. And it's just kind of mediocre.
Right. And
like,
the only...
Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, like all these movies are just kind of like, okay at best.
The only exciting thing would be Will Smith as the genie.
That's a pretty good casting.
To really add something different or play something a little bit different than the Robin Williams genie. So that they go in a different direction. That's the only thing that I'm kind of excited about seeing, really. Because let's face it, Aladdin himself is kind of just a generic, good-looking, underdog story. The reason I love Aladdin is basically the story of friendship between him and Genie. I think that's very strong. Jasmine was kind of like a badass Disney princess in the show. I don't remember in the movie if she does anything too... I think all I remember is the slave outfit they end up wearing her, so I'm guessing not. And Jafar I always thought was a cool looking bad guy.
And the Sultan was an idiot.
Yeah, but that's, male authority figures in a Disney film, like
especially parental figures. If you're not dead, you're dumb.
Yeah, I wonder if you ever got the explanation of the mom, like if she died of Disney death off screen.
Probably.
But yeah, there was not much more to add to that. Should we just move on to the next one?
She got turned into a tiger.
Are you saying she's Raja?
Yep.
Raja's a dude.
What's your point?
Okay, so there's a gender bent tiger transformation in Aladdin.
Sure.
Wow, Disney is much more progressive than I thought. Man, you know what? From what I've talked shit about you, Disney, I take it back. That's a bold move forward. Hashtag furry transgender. What were we talking about?
I don't know. I think we're on to the next trailer.
Titans Season 1.
Let's keep going.
The New York Comic-Con trailer.
Transgender Titans.
I actually got to talk with a bunch of people from the Teen Titans show when I was there for That's My Entertainment's coverage of it. So I got to sit down with the cast and talk with them on some roundtables, and they were very nice, very cool people. I don't think they really convinced me much to watch this show, but let's see if this trailer can do so.
Or at least not turn you off more than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
What's so important about this girl?
This girl, as you call her, is far more than that. Her father, he will scrub the flesh of this world clean. But he can't arrive without her welcome.
You know, I don't mind Raven actually in a hospice or like religious facility for demon possession, and she actually is demon possessed. That's fun.
Like it's a horror movie that's actually like, nope, she's like, nope, 100%.
I've always known you were different.
But you have a destiny.
Fucking music.
You pose as the innocent, but deep inside,
Whoa.
you know you're damned. That's right.
There's evil inside of me. Please help me.
The question with CG there.
Yeah.
It looks like Robin and Starfire.
We must work as a team against a common enemy. Let's call it an alliance.
So that was the trailer for Teen Titans on DC's new streaming network. Oh boy. Well,
I mean, it doesn't like make me automatically hate it like the last one, so I guess that's a bit of an improvement.
look, I gotta tell you, this is just not a show for me. When I read Teen Titans, I liked it because it was bright, colorful, there was kids. I remember like, it was always about sidekicks working to live up to the expectations of their hero counterparts. I liked that it was lighter than the other books. It was, when they decide to make it dark and, brooding, it is, I feel, goes against what Teen Titans actually is at its core.
Well, I mean, that was always kind of DC's thing, though. Like, well, we want to make comic book series, but we don't want to be a comic book movie or show.
It still feels like they're fucking embarrassed.
Yeah.
And that is what permeates through a lot of what the 90s superhero movies were and what Warner Brothers has never quite gotten out of, with the notable exception of Wonder Woman. They've always felt like adult equals dark equals adult storytelling. And this, what really makes me mad about this is the music of like this, oh man, it's dark and brooding and look at all this cool shit that we got going on here. Robin's curb stomping some guy. He's not your family neighborhood, Robin. Starfire's costume still sucks. I don't understand why Fur Coat Pimp was cooler than a purple alien dress, which I understand that you want to change up the costume because the costume in the comics is impractical and just pretty much, I don't think anyone could move in it.
It's like always been kind of just fan servicey.
They never even show Hawk and Dove in this trailer.
I kind of forgot they're supposed to be in this show.
Mm-hmm. They are too ambitious with it's funny because they wanted to go with the ones that everyone knows from the cartoons.
Mm-hmm. But they're kind of
but they're all more adult, I guess. And
they also like have really pain in the ass power sets for CG.
Because the CG for Beast Boy is always going to look like what the Flash looks like. Only the Flash gets away with it because it has a funnier, goofier tone. And on a serious fucking show, I'm going to be laughing every time Beast Boy turns into this CG tiger. Also, they make Starfire's firebolts just actual fire, no doubt because it's easier than making any kind of green effect.
But it also looks really bad.
It also doesn't look that great. And I think they just did it because fire, they had it queued up in the special effects meter or whatever. Raven's powers look okay because we don't see a lot of them and they're all black and dark.
Yeah, it's darkness based, which is really easy cut around.
Oh yeah, that's a lot easier. Yeah, Robin seems to be the only one that they've put work into putting their costume in. Everyone else, they seem to have the costuming budget ran out after Robin's costume, which is funny because Robin won't be wearing that costume by the end of the show.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff here that screams not for Nick. So I mean, I see reviews coming in that are actually surprisingly positive.
Mm-hmm. So I've actually heard some reviews that are like, "Oh, this is actually pretty funny."
We will be getting DC Universe streaming app once Young Justice comes out in January anyway.
Suppose.
So maybe once we have it, we'll give it a watch since it doesn't really cost us anything.
Anything more.
So
my whole problem with DC's whole logic is that, strictly speaking, the best DC movie that they've come out with was Lego Batman.
Right. And it was really making fun of a lot of their current trends. Their best movies seem to be openly against what they are actually doing. Mm-hmm. And seems like they're slowly figuring it out, but then they'll release this Titans thing. And I keep calling them Teen Titans, but this one is Titans. Right. And guys, you're skipping over, they did become Titans in the comics because they were some of the only superheroes allowed to age, and where they became elder statements of the team and the team changed. And then we got people like Blue Beetle and some of the other people, which I thought was cool.
But that's something you work up to. You don't start with.
But now it's just weird for me to watch the Titans and they get together when they're all 25. And it's like, oh, well, we're all lost children. And I'm like, guys, you are grown-ass adults. And so there's going to be a lot less of leeway I give them for if they were children making dumb decisions.
Right.
Cause, you go
over there and use it with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Yeah. Graduating high school. Sure you are.
Second try at college.
Yeah. So I just think this isn't a good idea.
To be fair on this one's part, it is a TV show. It has an inherent room to improve and fix itself compared to a movie.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know if it will.
Sure. But anyway, should we move on to the next DC-related TV property? Because we have...
This one better?
We have a Gotham Season 5, baby. It coming, the last season.
Sad, but awesome. Man, they're looking. I like this show.
Ooh. I thought that last shot was gonna go up to where it was just a building and then the whole city was fighting. That would have been cool, but apparently it's something different. Okay, so that was very small. Actually, not a whole lot there.
Well, half of that wasn't a trailer. That was just a recap of what happened last 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, well, I'm still excited.
I mean, yeah, I like the show, so I'm gonna watch it, but... that was a really shitty trailer.
It was sucked because when I was at Comic-Con, I missed the panel that actually had some of the first episode back. And I was asking the woman that played Selena Kyle what some of because remember the last episode where Bruce promised I won't leave your side, and then he immediately does.
Yes.
And I was like, so with that kind of betrayal of trust, what do you think will happen with there? And she actually didn't know because apparently in the next episode he just kind of he shows back up at her side before she wakes up.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, well, I'm sorry then. I guess I just thought that, like, an obvious, like, writer's thread of, like, yeah, like, he makes the promise, then he immediately leaves, and she would wake up and he's gone. Like,
Right.
I thought that would be so easy for a writer, but apparently they switched it up so that he does stick by her, at least until she wakes up and then leaves.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, that's not what they showed in the last episode.
No.
Way to make me look like an idiot.
I mean, to be fair, it's what they choreograph.
Yeah, I really thought that this was going to happen, but yeah, I like to see Riddler back. I liked him in silhouette; he looked really cool. Some of the other like Skull Bones gangs things, I'm not sure. They actually looked like from to Batman Forever.
Yes.
Remember that Skull Bones gang?
Yeah.
That Robin and was it Batgirl or something that they Robin fought at some point? Like, that was funny.
Let's not remind ourselves of that one.
I'm really interested to see how this final season of Gotham shakes out, where they'll end up with it. I really like the show, so I want to know what happens with all the villains and how they're set up for this Batman universe. Speaking of Batman, should we move on to our next trailer?
Geez, gonna be a DC night, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, Marvel didn't have a whole lot to actually show off. Like, they showed some more of the Gifted and something like I think another TV show. So they showed Daredevil season 3 trailer.
Okay.
But I don't know how much we should talk about that, considering we kind of saw some of the episodes already.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, you should be excited for Daredevil, because in the trailer I saw a little bit of it. It shows Bullseye definitely showing up, wearing the Daredevil costume.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's interesting. And like we said, we got to see some of it, and in my opinion, yeah, Daredevil is back to being, like, it's definitely a lot better than the second half of season 2, at least, but we've only seen the first half. Right. And Kingpin is back. He's back really early. He's in it for the full season. It's not like he's a cameo or anything.
although he does play cameo parts, which is weird.
They do a lot of interesting stuff with Foggy and not really Karen, but we'll see.
Karen's not interesting.
And Bullseye is very interesting to me from what we see of him. So I would definitely give that a look. Other than that, let's keep on with the DC train. Harley Quinn has its official first look at New York Comic Con. I did see this one at Comic Con. It was pretty fun. Okay. So we'll give this one a watch.
Can't wait for you guys to see my new show on DC Universe. You're gonna piss yourselves, I promise.
I think they're gonna hate it, Harls. They hate everything.
No way. It's got comedy, action, incredibly gratuitous violence, and unlike that Deadpool cartoon, it's actually coming out.
I thought we were supposed to make a show that was like super gritty and bleak and depressing. You know, like a DC thing.
That is an excellent way to make television and film. But everyone in my show is gonna have fun, or I will bash their f***ing heads in!
There's no fun in Arkham, Quinn.
Except him.
Yeah, guy's a real buzzkill. Oh, is that the logo? I like it.
They're gonna hate it.
So that was fun. I like the idea of Harley Quinn being more like a meta character. And
a little bit more Deadpool-y.
I like that they show Ivy in it, like, immediately. I like that.
Because they actually seem to know what fans want this time?
Well, I think, there are a lot of fans that are big into the Joker and Harley relationship in a weird way. It's not like I don't find that relationship interesting, but I feel a lot of people miss the point of it.
Well, they over-romanticize it.
Yeah, and it's like, whoa, no. It is not a good relationship. It is bad. And it is cool for me to see Harley, and there's like Joker in the background and a mannequin head or something. So I think that was about as big as, I think that was even the same guy who voiced Batman from Batman Brave and the Bold as Batman. So that's funny. But yeah, I hope Pamela Isley is a bigger part of the show and is kind of like her gal pal. If not, like, I don't think they will do straight up romantic interest.
Come on, do her as her gal pal.
Then
like,
again, it's their own streaming service, so I think they can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
but it's I think in the comics they have established that Harley Quinn is bi and that they've been together for a little bit. So there's that. Yeah, I dig the animation style. It looks pretty good. It looks, animated in a 2D format, I guess, is my new standard.
Low standards, but we'll take it because 3D animation sucks.
Yeah. But I mean, it's very short, but I like the style of humor. Like I like that they were openly making fun of Teen Titans for a minute, but then they were like, yeah, but no, it's fine. No, cool. Teen Titans is good.
Perfectly okay way of doing things.
Like, that's perfectly fine. That's totally legitimate. Whatever. We're doing our own thing, but it's not like our thing is better. Like, I like how like someone on the staff wrote that out of like, we gotta make sure that no one confuses us with the dark shit.
Right.
So yeah, I will definitely be giving that a watch. I'm not sure when that one comes out, but I know Young Justice, the first half of it is in January. So
Sweet.
I probably report back with some stuff on that then.
Mm-hmm.
With that, should we check out our last one for tonight?
All right, what we got here?
What we have here is, let's see. We have the She-Ra, the Princess of Power.
An actual trailer this time?
An actual trailer this time, not like that really weak teaser or whatever that they had. So
I'm really sick of teaser trailers.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, we'll give this one a watch here. I'm actually interested in this. I think it's Netflix. This is a Netflix reboot. Yeah. Anyway, here we go.
Lord Hordak has been watching you, Adora. He thinks you are a fine candidate for Force Captain.
You've been promoted?
Wait, I thought this was She-Ra, not the Thundercats.
This is what I have been working for my entire life. I wonder what's even outside the fright zone. We're gonna see the world and conquer it. Ketra, slow down!
Adora.
Ketra?
Our planet needs you. Cool. The sword has chosen you. The time has come for your destiny.
I have the power!
All I did was pick up the sword and then, whoosh, I'm in a tiara. We can't trust her.
Your army is called the Evil Horde.
Who calls us that?
Everybody!
I know the legend of the warrior called She-Ra. They said she would return to us in the hour of our greatest need.
There's something you should know.
Horde soldier!
I know you have no reason to trust me, but I'm ready to fight to stop the Horde.
The rebellion accepts your allegiance. She-Ra, Princess of Power.
That's the coolest name I've ever heard.
Ketra? What are you doing here? Come on, let's go home already. I'm not going home. The Horde is evil. They've been lying to us. You have to help me.
No, really.
What
They call themselves
happened to
the
you?
Horde.
I'm sorry, Ketra.
She's just like every other princess. All sparkle, no substance.
What are you all doing here?
We want to rebuild the Princess Alliance.
You each have a skill that
The
only
Princess
you can
Alliance.
The Horde almost destroyed my home. I want to help fight them. Plus, your friend over there can turn into a 8-foot tall lady with a sword, and I want her on my side.
Fair.
Stop her!
Proceed, Force Captain Ketra.
This isn't over!
Okay, Sword. Let's do this.
For the honor of Grayskull!
Yeah!
She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Ooh, Princesses of Power.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Adora.
That was pretty cool, I gotta admit. I never watched She-Ra the original.
No, me neither.
So, I watched a little bit of He-Man, but I wasn't a big fan of that either. I find that pretty interesting that they switched up a little bit and made her a member of the evil horde and has to realize oh, are we the bad guys?
You're called the Horde. Yes,
It's
you're
like,
the bad
no,
guy.
but we weren't the evil horde. And it's like, yeah, I don't think horde is a very good context for anything.
No.
Sorry, World of Warcraft fans. For the horde.
They know what they're about.
You know what we are. So I like that. I like the idea of a Power Rangers Sentai team made up of different princesses with different abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it seems like there's some different dudes in there too. Like they actually have some. I like the guy who of course has the sexy midriff and a heart shape on his.
I feel like you belong more in Captain Planet.
Right? Yeah. Right. It's the heart guy. Oh man. I like that, if the evil horde wasn't evil enough, they capture a fucking unicorn, Pegasus, with rainbow wings. I like that she even has like friends on the other side of the horde, and like that she has to fight against. Like that's interesting. Animation is obviously they didn't have a huge budget, but it looks good.
It's not 3D.
It's not 3D. It's like it reminds me of Marvel's other female show of like the kind of cutesy, but like still not like it's not. It has softer edges, I guess, but it's not like, say, totally cartoony. Like there's, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but there's like a midsection in there.
Right. It's like somewhere between Young Justice and Teen Titans Go.
Yes. I don't know where. I know that must be a huge place, but it's somewhere in between there. Like, since those two animation styles could not be more different, but it's somewhere in there. But yeah, that one I'm actually kind of excited to check out.
Yeah, hopefully DreamWorks makes a show that stays good the whole time.
Yeah. I had my doubts. I mean, we've been on about what's it? Voltron, and yeah, I was kind of disappointed in that. Ooh. And since I don't know, we won't go into too much into it. We're done with the trailer talk, by the way.
Okay.
But since I don't know, we have to get back with some of the people if we're going to do a review on it or not. But we did watch The Dragon Prince recently.
We did.
Wow. I don't know what y'all are seeing in that show, because I see a lot of positive stuff going around about it. Me and Travis think it's pretty trash.
Mediocre at best.
Yeah, at best. And and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'm just not excited to watch any more of that show, to be completely honest.
We basically hate watched it.
Yeah. And I think my problem was just that I think from the writers of, I forget which writers they were, but some of the writers of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I feel like Netflix and or DreamWorks or whoever like have have control over these shows. I'm not sure who DreamWorks or who Dragon Prince is through, but I
don't remember.
I feel like the Netflix animated series a lot have this problem of very low budget, short seasons, doesn't seem to have a lot of confidence in it, and it seems to be written very fast. Like it feels very fast. Like there's just a lot of, and then this happens to make the plot move forward. I think the only thing I liked was that the actual character work for the characters is pretty good. Like if you take their decision making out of it and the decisions they actually make,
just their
personalities are pretty strong.
Yeah.
Like they do remind me of some of the Avatar: Last Airbender characters in the way that they all are very distinct. I know everyone's personality type. I know like what fits where they fit in the show, in their dynamic of the team. The problem is that the decisions they make do not reflect that character work. In fact, it feels like they are just making decisions that seem so random.
Right.
And I think, I mean, we could spend all day nitpicking decisions or stuff, but because there's a lot of them. But I think one of my main ones was that the main bad guy of the series, who I'm still not convinced how much of a bad guy he is.
Like, by the end of it, I'm like, well, you must know you're evil because you're like sucking soul.
Yeah, so
something. Whatever.
I mean, but it seems like you're always waiting for a turn to go like, no, I'm not as evil as you thought. And then the kids don't seem as evil either. But what really caught me was that the Dragon Princes during the show, at some point, he announces them as dead, and then is surprised later when people find them alive, even though he did nothing. He set no course of action forward to go and kill them,
or even make sure they couldn't come back.
Right, like to his knowledge, they could be anywhere. They could be in the castle, and they could pop up at any moment to undermine his authority. And as far as we see in the show, he has done nothing to prevent that.
Yeah.
The only thing you can imagine is that he's had some plans off screen that didn't work out, but you'd have to put that work on the audience and like that. So yeah, maybe
we're calling him Stupid Jafar.
Maybe we'll do a Netflix and kill on that, even though I don't, I think that technically no one died except for some of the elven assassins, which even then they don't really go into.
Right. My main problem with the show is that I feel like it should be better than it is.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, that was the episode for the week, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Again, we will be experiencing a hiatus as of late. Hopefully we will be able to have Anime Fusion up next week, as we will be there as you are listening to this, probably. Currently Anime Fusion, so we hope to see you guys there, have fun, and check out some of our other sites. Keep an eye out for Netflix and Kill. We will let you know when it goes up on its separate Netflix and Kill feed. We'll have new episodes as well as reposts of old episodes and stuff like that, as well as just follow us on Facebook at Unapologetic Geek Out, or Twitter at UGO Podcast, or Instagram UGO Podcast as well. Other than that, we are going to get out of here. We are Unapologetic Geek Out, and we're out.